Hi there, and thank you for tuning in. I guess there are a few things in life that are a bit strange, like standing in your own backyard, talking to a camera, hoping that the neighbors aren't watching and thinking, what is that guy doing? Another thing that is perhaps even more strange is to buy a really, really good camera, like the Nikon D4 that I hold here, and put a really good lens in front of it, say the 16 to 35 millimeter that I have here, and use that combination to basically create blurred images. What is the point? Well, I guess it comes down to expression, what you want to express with your photography. Normally you would want to use this wonderful camera and its capabilities together with this lens to create, very sharp images with beautiful colors and so on. But you can actually also, by keeping the shutter open and moving the camera in various directions, you can create a different way, different expression. And if that is to your liking, then intentional camera movement, ICM as it's called, maybe is for you. And this video is intended to get you going with ICM. It's not because it's rocket science to do ICM. You simply put your camera in shutter priority mode, and then you ask your camera to give you, say, a second of shutter open time. And what your camera will do is it will try to minimize the amount of light that gets in, because a second is a lot of time, right? So it will typically close down the aperture and it will go down to base ISO, say maybe 100 or 200, subject to your camera. If that's not enough, you may need to add a ND filter, which is basically a pair of sunglasses you put in front of your lens to even further reduce the amount of light that gets in. But with that said, there's actually nothing more to it than, walking around, moving your camera while you shoot. And you can do a lot of variations, and there are really no rules. You can swing, of course, from left to right, up and down, or in patterns to whatever is to your liking. You can also try to experiment with, opening the shutter and then moving the camera, or moving the camera and then while you do that, opening the shutter, and so on. So you can try lots of different ways of shooting. You may find that, and that's what happens to me, that you come home with a lot of images where the only thing those images do for you is they give you a slight headache. But eventually, sometimes, 1 out of 100, maybe 1 out of 200, you will find that all of a sudden, wow, there was something that worked, something that was magical about exactly that image. And it can be that maybe you have taken 100 pictures of exactly the same subject with micro variations, a little bit different movements and different angles and so on. And all of a sudden there's one image that you say, wow, there's something here that I like. And I can't really express, why it is to sometimes work. The only thing I can say is I can quickly filter through my range of images and take out those that don't work. That's a quick process. And when I do that, I get very intimate with the delete button on my computer, because we get to know each other pretty well. But those images that are left, they are a bit different. And I think if you try on Instagram to follow the hashtag ICM, you will see that those who are good at this, they actually can express themselves or with their photography in a way you would never be able to do with had you sort of from a technical perspective given or taking the pictures with the right exposure without camera shake. So here in Lightroom, I just want to show you some examples of some images. You can see I have 162 images in this folder, and I can assure you I have deleted many, 3, 4, maybe 500 images here to get down to the 162. And out of those, I have chosen 8 that I want to share with you here. So let's have a look at it. And as you can see, this one is shot at the ocean, obviously, where I take a lot of my images. And you can see here I had it shutter open for 2.5 seconds. And as I said in the video earlier, the camera, what it does when you ask it to have the shutter open that long, it takes the aperture and makes it very, very small. So it's f22, which is the largest this lens will go to. And then the ISO is the base ISO. I have here swung the camera from right to left because I had the sunset to the right. and that gives this effect that you see here, which I think is very nice. Another image here where I've done a little bit the same, but I think this one, you can see the horizon is very, very straight, indicating that this was shot on a tripod, whereas this one, the horizon is slightly S-curved as far as I can tell, and that to me tells me, you can also see it's a little bit blurred, so this I'm pretty sure was handheld. I shot this handheld. Of course I try to keep the horizon as constant as possible when I shoot, swinging the camera from right to left, but I'm pretty sure this was shot handheld. And what I tried to do was to move in the same speed as the waves here, and that can be a good idea. If you have something moving in your image, try to see if you can sort of like you can pan in the same speed as whatever you're trying to follow, and that gives a special effect. The third image here, again you can see here I'm at 6 seconds. What was I on the other one? At 3 seconds. So I vary these parameters, how long the shutter is open, when I pan left, right, top, down, and so on and so forth. Normally you would say that if you have an image where you have a horizon, you should pan left to right, and if you have something tall like a tree that goes from top to bottom, you should pan in the same direction. Here I have actually gone against that rule, and I have a horizon out here somewhere, but this is the setting sun. But I just went up, down, and follows. This is actually an incoming wave. You can see here in the bottom of the picture, and I think this works. I think it works pretty well. Maybe not a dramatic image, but I think it gives sort of a calm and it's a relaxing image to look at, and I like to produce images like that. Here I have had, you can see this yellow line here, that is actually the sun. In general, I don't have good experience with having dots of bright light in the images that I shoot. I think that it gives some very strange images, but here it worked. I think because it has a nice continuation here without a sudden stop. So I think it works here, and you can see the dark parts here. That's actually a pier going into the ocean that you can hardly see. I believe I swung the camera left to right here. Number 5 here is sometimes you get surprised, positively surprised that is, and I'm not even sure what the scene here is specifically. I think I shot this obviously at the ocean, but I'm not sure if I'm standing at the beach or if I'm standing on a cliff looking down on the beach. A little bit strange, but I simply can't recall. But I think it works really, really well. You can see you have the delay here in the waves captured with these stripes here in the image. And this is perhaps one of the images that I'm the most happy with so far with my ICM work. Here I have a lot of positive feedback on social media for this image. This I think would look great on a canvas. Let me just go to full frame here. You can see that it looks very much like a painting. And again, I'm pretty sure based on this horizon that I shot this handheld. You can try and vary handheld versus on a tripod and see what you like, but it gives a little bit different expression. This one here, a little bit the same. Here you can see you can see this in the lines. I have not moved the camera straight from left to right, but I have moved it up and down a little bit when I did the shooting, and it becomes even more apparent in this one. You can see here that I've made some up and down movements while moving it from left to right as well. So very different expressions. Some will say these are not pictures. These are perhaps more like paintings, but I really like this kind of shooting. My main advice to you is go out and try it. If you like what you see here, give it a try. Follow the hashtag ICM. See what these clever people they do. And maybe this could be a new way for your photography to develop. Okay, I hope that was useful. As I said, 3 things that could get you going other than the specific camera settings. Try and try. Variations. Don't be discouraged if what you come home with doesn't work. Then try some more. eventually you will find that there's something that works for you, that you think is interesting, and just keep going. That's actually my best advice. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. If you can feel this is a way or a direction you want to take your photography, don't be discouraged by 100, 200, 300 images in a straight row that don't work. Keep going, keep trying, keep varying, and eventually you will succeed. Okay, as always, thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.